there from Venice, Italy. We are live on Zoom, and I've had a busy week. Hopefully, you've all had a great summer, and summer's been kind of flying by. And we started our summer with some trips in southern Utah, and then have been all over the world. So I hope you've been enjoying yours. And what I'm going to do today is show a little presentation on some of our summer updates at Worldwide Trekking and the Human Outreach Project. And then I'm going to talk a little bit more specifically, an overview of our new Dolomites trip that's here in the Italian Alps. So we'll go over that. As usual, what I'll do is I'll share my screen, and that way everybody can see some of what I'm talking about here. So let me share my screen. So I'm in Venice, Italy, actually, as of last night. I've been pretty busy over here in Italy. We've been running trips through the Alps, and then I got into Venice last night. I spent the last 11 days doing our pre-trip for our new Italian Dolomites adventure, and that one is starting in just a couple days. We have 2 full trips booked. And last night I got into Venice, and this morning I did a gondola ride, which was really, really nice. A boat tour through the canals and the areas around Venice. And then this afternoon I've kind of been relaxing because I've been very busy the last few days. But if we rewind back to Worldwide Trekking and our summer, over the last few years, I've been working on the building there. Bought a building a few years ago, had it rezoned, remodeled the interior, and then remodeled the exterior. And I guess the big exciting news for me anyway is we have a retaining wall going up that's 9 feet high on the side of our land, which will increase our parking by a lot, and it will give us the opportunity to finish off our landscaping and finish off the front and really finish the building. As all of you probably know, after a few-year project, it's nice to see it through, and it's also nice to see it come together in the end. So really good to have that all working out, and I'm super excited to see how it comes out in the end. Then this spring, I had some trips, obviously through the winter. I was in Tanzania, Africa. I was in the British Virgin Islands. And then our first trip this spring was a Southern Utah trip with Stanford Alumni Travel. And we went down and did the Utah Mighty 5 National Parks, and we did a number of national monuments. But really, as we focus in Southern Utah, Zion, Bryce, Capitol Reef, Arches, and Canyonlands National Parks. We stay in beautiful lodges and go hiking each day. It's a hotel-based trip, and it's amazing. We had the good luck of having this trip in mid-May when the wildflowers were incredibly on a super bloom. And as they were, we just had a great week or so down in southern Utah. And that was a trip that I guided. In the summer, it has been exciting for us to relaunch our Hop Outdoors program. This is run through our nonprofit, the Human Outreach Project. And this takes kids from Salt Lake City and at-risk communities down there up to Snowbird. Snowbird donates tram passes. Utah Food Services donates picnic supplies, and the North Face donates day packs and water bottles. And we all come together and bring these children up to Snowbird, which is a place very near and dear to my heart, and give them the opportunity to go up and ride the tramway, go hiking. And I'm happy to say that we had more than 350 kids do this program throughout the entire summer up there until just recently as they started to head back to school. But it really shows them that there's beautiful opportunities just up in the mountains around Utah. And it was really fun to have that program back in full swing after a couple years that we couldn't run it, and then a year where we had a little bit of limited operations, and then this year back to full capacity. Otherwise, I went over to Tanzania in June. We had embarked on a number of big projects on our Kilimanjaro kids community. Here it is right here. You can see my pointer. This is our land here. We have 5 acres now. We actually acquired this land back here. And because we are growing so much, we just broke ground right here on a new dormitory. So we have our administration building here, our staff house, our pavilion here, our current dormitory, our laundry, and our dining pavilion, tilapia fish pond here, some water towers, our guest facility, livestock area over here. This is a large football or soccer field. Our gardens and our fruit trees are in this area right here. And this summer, we were able to put these roadways through to really kind of clean things up, which has been really nice. And as well, we broke ground on this new dormitory over here. I do want to send a special thanks to Cool Clothing that donated 35 mountain bikes shipped over to our facility in Tanzania, Africa. We had a special group come over, and we assembled all the bikes, and all the kids are able to have bicycles, and they love that. So it's been a few years since we could have bikes, but the things that the Kilimanjaro kids community are growing fantastic. That group was also able to participate in our school lunch program over there, where we now have 2 schools that feed over 2,000 children lunch every single day. One of the highlights of my summer was taking the children on a 2-day safari out to the Ngoro Conservation Area. And it was really a fantastic couple days out there. We spend the night at a lodge close by, and we don't only include our children. We have 32 children at the Kilimanjaro Kids community, but we also include the staff, their children, some of the guys that want to join us from the mountain crew that have children, and it was fantastic. We had over 120 people on the safari with 16 Jeeps. 16, maybe 18, a lot of Jeeps, but it was just fantastic. And it really gives them the opportunity to see what all of those tourists are doing in their country, because they don't have the chance to go visit like we do when we're on safari. We've climbed Kilimanjaro 3 times this summer, 5 times since the new year at Worldwide Trekking. I was able to do 2 right after the new year and over the new year. And then I did 1 in June. That was a climb for a cause, Kilimanjaro climb. Here's our crew this year. They got all new uniforms. We got all new tents. And we've had just a fantastic season over there in Tanzania and up on Kilimanjaro. We'll look forward to going back this January. And again, as always, June through the summer next year. We ran 3 trips in Iceland. Iceland has been very popular for us. It was fantastic. We do anything from small groups of family type trips. And this summer we had a huge family reunion that had 30 people on that trip. They had a great time. We altered their schedule because, as you could imagine, they had a lot of younger kids and things like that. So we were able to alter their schedule and, cater it to them. But our normal trip, again, a hotel-based hiking trip. We see waterfalls, we see lava flows, we see the glaciers, and they even got to see again this summer an active live lava flow as it was erupting. So really nice time in Iceland. Iceland is beautiful. There's a lot to do up there. In a 9-day trip, you can really have a great time visiting Iceland, flying in and out of Reykjavik, and they've really just been fantastic trips for us up there. Myself, after Kilimanjaro, I headed to the European Alps. I guided from late June through the beginning of August in Switzerland, Italy, and France. I based out of Chamonix, France, and then I based out of Chamonix, France, and then I run trips picking people up at the Geneva airport, and then on through Switzerland. We spend 2 nights in Zermatt, 2 nights in Aosta, Italy, 2 nights in Courmayeur, Italy, and 2 nights in Chamonix, France. But I had 3 groups over there. This was a large family group, and I had other groups throughout the summer, which was really fantastic. And we just had a great time over there in the Alps. This is a hotel-based trip as well, and it does give us the opportunity to go on great hikes each day, but then be able to go and do fantastic hikes throughout all of Europe. So in the Switzerland, Italy, and France. But currently I am in Venice, Italy, as I said, and I just finished my 3rd scout trip here in Venice. And on the scouting trips here in Venice, or in the Dolomites, what we do is we have the groups are going to fly into Marco Polo Airport in Venice, and then it's about 2 hours up to Corboria. This is a moderate activity level trip. It's 9 days, 8 nights. Plus you could add on Venice, like I am currently right now in Venice. Group size max for us is 12 people. We can accommodate smaller groups. We can accommodate larger groups. So contact us if you have something in mind. The best time over here is June through September. Our personal favorite is September. And the reason being is it's quite crowded in the Dolomites on some of the popular trails in July and August. So we're going for 2 trips back to back here, the very last couple days of August and through September this year. And it's because it's less crowded. Kind of exciting that the area that we visit later on in the trip, Cortina, was home to the 1956 Olympic Games, and they will be hosting the Winter Olympics again, Milano Cortina 2026. These are some of the old ski jumps that are in disrepair, and there's an old bobsled run up there as well. And it'll be interesting to see what they put together for the Winter Olympics that are upcoming. So if you can see my pointer, this area right here is where I spent a lot of my summer doing our Matterhorn to the Mont Blanc trip. And the Dolomites are in this area. Here's Venice down here by my pointer, up here on the Austrian border. The Dolomites, Italian northeast side of Italy up here, and on the Italian border you can see here. So it is absolutely fantastic. I'd say the Dolomites are a UNESCO World Heritage Site. There are 9 mountain ranges here, thousands of mountain peaks, and a really neat history, and as well lift system that allows us lift access and amazing villages where we can spend our days hiking and our evenings in nice hotel accommodations as we go. It does have a interesting history, obviously from World War I, 1914 through 1916, when Italy invaded Austria-Hungary at the time. And these was, some of the most fierce battlegrounds in the world, in the mountains, in trench warfare. And there's a lot of historical sites up in the mountains that we see, whether it's trenches or bunkers or gun turrets or different things some of the times as we're hiking. The mountain villages are absolutely gorgeous, and they give us the opportunity to, again, stay down in beautiful villages that we can explore in the evenings and the afternoons, and access up into the mountains for hiking. We do as well on this one a lot of lift assisted hiking. This is us taking the lift up out of Corvara, and we take a couple of these gondolas up to the start of our hike. We do a hike up in the high alpine, and then we return back down through the gondolas and walk back down into town. This is Seseda. We also access this area on the gondola and then an aerial tramway or a cable car, and then we do a long hike out to Refugio, where we have a lunch, and then after lunch we return back to the top of the cable car and descend back down to our vehicles to head back to our lodge. So this is a picture of one of the mountain lodges during one of our hikes. Absolutely beautiful mountain lodges in many places. We do a lot of picked lunches. We do a couple of mountain hut lunches. And I'd say that the reason that we don't eat more often lunch at the mountain huts is because it will be very hard to time the timing to bring in a group for lunch. When a group carries lunch in their day pack, then of course we can find a beautiful spot in the grass and have it when we're ready to eat lunch, and 12:30 or so. Tre Cime Lavaredo, just hiked around this again the other day. Just amazing mountain relief here in the Dolomites, and some of the other huts along the way. So really a beautiful area for exploring. What we do is we spend, after we pick the group up in Venice, Italy, which I'm going to do in 2 days, we're going to drive up into the Dolomites, spend 3 nights in Corvara in the Dolomites. That's on the eastern side of the Dolomites. Explore that eastern side, then we'll hike, and then after our 4th hike, we'll move across into Cortina, where we'll spend 4 nights and explore that the eastern side of the Dolomites. Corvara will be in the west, and Cortina will be in the east. Just a great day out. I had ascended that cable car, taking a big hike up out of Cortina. From the hotel, we don't even have to get in a vehicle, and we can just hike to the cable car, take the cable car all the way up to the top, and then just do these amazing hikes. And this one here is one of the lakes that we hike to later on in the trip. Dolomites has a lot of livestock, a lot of cows, especially eating that beautiful mountain grass all summer long here before they go down and probably are stuck in a barn for the winter time. And this is a picture of Cortina. Really fun village, really nice for people to get out and explore in the afternoons as they finish their hiking day and before we're going to meet for dinner. But for me, it's really fun to do these scouting trips to, last summer I spent 11 days over here in August, and then I returned in September for 12 days. I just spent another 11 days, and now we have 2 groups coming in to run our trip. Everything is in place. We're ready to go. We're looking forward to it. I've got a couple of guides that are showing up to join me. It's really fun to do all these different hikes, to learn an area, to do hikes that we probably won't do with our group, but then pick the best hikes for our group based on the days out, the ability levels, the day after day fatigue that people feel 3 or 4 or 5 days into a trip. And really, after guiding hundreds and thousands of people over the years, it's really nice to be able to put something together that they can really enjoy, map everything out, and then take them on the adventure. So as I said, if you're looking at Italy here, we're way up in Venice right now, and then we'll be heading up into the Dolomites here in a couple days, and should be really exciting. Beyond that, I will be returning to Utah at the end of September for about a week. I have after the Dolomites trip, I return to the Alps and do one more trip in the Alps, and then I will be heading back to Utah for the week or so, and then I'll be heading over to Nepal for the fall. I have 3 groups going to Nepal in the fall, and should be a really good time over there. As usual, be trekking to Mount Everest Base Camp. We have a couple getting married up near Everest Base Camp, and should be really fun throughout. So should be a good season. I wanted to kind of brief you guys on what we have going on at Worldwide Trekking and what the Human Outreach Project is up to. I guess one of the other announcements for HOP this fall, we will be cutting the ribbon on our second medical clinic in Ferrochet, Nepal, 14,200 feet. It's the highest medical clinic in the world. And we took down the old building that was there, built in the early 70s. And over the last 2 years, we've been building a new facility, and we'll be heading up there this fall, and we'll be getting that building open and ready to go. Last spring, it looked beautiful. We had the exterior all shelled in, and right now they're putting together the interior and finishing it off, and it should be ready by October. So very exciting, and I want to thank everyone for joining us today. Again, live in Venice, Italy, and looking forward to our upcoming trips in the Italian Dolomites. So have a nice day. Enjoy the rest of your summer, and we hope to see you on a worldwide trekking trip next year.